they barely made a swap.
Oh my god.
Anyways, I don't need to send this out to anyone. Hello, YouTube, and whoever watches this when it's posted public, and welcome to the Distortion Survivor Heatwave Roundtable. We're here with Morgan, Jackie, and Haley, and we're also here with. They barely made a swap. Oh my god! Wait, I'm in the background. Anyways, I don't need to send this out to anyone. Who has it playing? Who has it playing? Who has it playing? Okay. Anyways, sorry, I heard myself. I flipped out a little.
I heard that they barely made it to swap.
At first, I thought it was Nick mimicking me. Anyways, this is Nick Mena. For anyone who doesn't know, shout out to Experiment. He hosts that game, and he is very fortunate to help us with this jury roundtable. So, with that, take it away, Nick. Mena.
Hello. Sorry.
Hello, some of our jurors that decided we have time to sit and talk tonight. So I just kind of want to go around and I want you guys to, spill the tea, express your feelings. Let's just kind of start with, what do you think makes a good winner to an org, to Survivor? Spells winner.
Someone who doesn't just carry off on the back of someone else's success.
That's very tea.
Is that shade directed at anyone?
I don't know. Is it?
Wait, we're not allowed to be nasty. No, it's not.
We could be nasty on a game level.
Yeah.
Wow.
But wait, I was told I could be nasty just to know that it's being recorded.
Oh, okay.
Prod will tell you when it's too far.
There we go. And I
But
don't think that was being too
Jackie.
far.
But I'm telling you,
that was-
Jackie, don't make us tell you it was too far.
I don't think that was too far. So I'm just gonna say that there's one person in final 3 that jury is not happy with, because what has he really done for himself? And I can say because all the women got fucking voted out.
We'll go. Okay.
Are we
That
allowed to name their
being said,
names?
I have a question for everybody.
Okay.
So we are in agreement. Well, so what makes Tyler's game so terrible and not LJ's? Because to me, they have played very similarly. Is it just that he's been cocky?
I think with me personally, it's like I feel way closer to LJ. Like just on, like we talked so much, we made such a real bond that like him doing something against me, I'd be like, congratulations. But with Tyler, he wasn't really like trying to make those bonds. So it just kind of feels like you rode LJ and let him make all the connections and make all of these like.
Because I don't necessarily think that it was a coattail riding situation, but I see where like LJ did make better connections with people, which I think is more of an accurate way to describe the difference between their gameplay, as opposed to just saying that Tyler rode his coattails.
I would like for both of them to separate both their games and tell me why they should win over the other person. Like, I really want to know the difference, because you can't play the same game as somebody else and then you both make it to the end and it's like, okay, who the hell we vote for then? Like, you have to have something that is like, boom, like that, like makes me want to like vote for you. Like, I don't know, like there was like not a huge move, I would say, that really like stood out to me with both of them, but like I feel like, Tyler did have that idol. LJ didn't have an idol that he needed to use to like save himself. I feel like LJ's name was never really out there until the final 5 whenever I left. So like I feel like that's also a good point that he can make as well. And like Morgan said, LJ was trying to like get to know people on a personal level, was always asking questions, always wanting to call and stuff like that. And like, yes, I've done really good calls with Tyler and it was a great time, but like he never really tried to like build that type of connection more than LJ did. Like it just wasn't like that.
I feel like LJ was like more willing, like to work with more people on a game level rather than like Tyler's great. I love Tyler, but he definitely was very like, LJ's my person, like I'm not straying from that, like I'm willing to lose for LJ. Like he could not make that more clear. So I think that's really a detriment because you need to be fluid and flexible in these games.
Right, like
Yeah.
he was able to like win immunities when he needed to. Like, don't get me wrong, even Tyler won immunity tonight. But like, if he would have made a move and like got LJ out, like that could have been so much better for Tyler's reputation and his resume in the game. And I feel like he didn't do that because he wanted to be super loyal, and sometimes super loyal does not help you in the end game.
Yeah. Now, that being said, I do feel just, and I know that we just like talk a lot of shit in jury just to be petty assholes. Feel like if Tyler were to have made a move against LJ tonight and voted him out, I feel partially, I'm just trying to give Tyler the benefit of the doubt. That's really all I'm doing. I feel as if the jury would not respect him still, and they would still give him shit.
I agree that people like definitely would still have been like, I still don't want to vote for Tyler, even though we want him to do that.
But that just is a testament to like his social, like his social game. You know what I mean?
I also want to know like what
if people are feeling that way. They're telling you things that you could do, and even if you were to do it, like maybe you're still not going to win. What does that say about your gameplay? So,
but like I also want to know what like LJ and like I want to know all of their strategic thoughts, because like I feel like we're always talking about how social they are. I want to know what they did that they can claim for themselves that didn't need anyone else. Like, what is it that they pushed that they were able to get what they wanted? Like, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense, but
yeah, I'm a little confused on just Tyler's, I don't know, like his entire gameplay. Like I get it that like they did this, they got to the end and whatnot, like they did what they had to do as a group and they kept it a good secret for a while. Like a bunch of people, well, no, not like the two, but like the fact that they were working so closely with Staten, they kept that a good secret from people, just for a bit at least. I mean, I still was like wanting to clip Staten just in case, but I didn't know for sure that they were all working together because they did vote separately a lot. They didn't work like right down the line together like LJ and Tyler did, which I think could be like a positive for Staten. Like he didn't link himself up to a duo and still got himself to the end in the final three that he did want to get to the end with.
Staten was very flexible and fluid in this game.
Yeah, he worked with like every side.
Yeah,
that's what I was about to say. Like, I think he's been very underrated to the point where like a lot of people were like, I want to take Staten to the end because I think I could beat him. And I'm just like, honestly, I like even Brandon, like other people, and like I said it before I left too, like Staten's somebody that like I never thought I would actually consider voting for, but like at the end of the day, I feel like, you know, he may not have been as social, and you know, I was pissed yesterday because I was like, that petty bitch didn't tell me he was voting me. But like I feel like he made the right moves when he was supposed to. He made good with LJ and Tyler when he made that move to vote Brandon and like knew about the idol. Like Tyler trusted him enough to tell him about the idol, and like, you know, Staten used an idol during minors vote or whatever and saved himself. And then after that, it was like it kind of cooled down a little bit where like nobody wanted to vote Staten anymore. Other people's names were going around, and like he was able to like adapt.
Jackie, do you want to vote for Staten?
No. First of all, Staten's name was thrown around a lot, just not to you. And I think the reason LJ and Tyler started working with Staten is because of Jen and Jen working with Staten. And just to backtrack a little, the only reason I'm not a big fan of Tyler is because the only reason he ever talked to me was because he said, Jen really likes you. And I said, oh, okay. That's kind of a weird conversation to make. And then we got put in a giant group chat. And then that was it. We never talked at all. He asked me once to switch my vote for a time for a challenge. And that was it. Like, we never talked. If I did message him, it was a very quick, like, whatever, it was nothing game. But LJ made those things. I mean, I called our group tribe multiple times and not a lot of people joined, but LJ did. And he would talk. It didn't have to be game related. He was there for it. And he did win the HOH for Big Brother, if I'm not mistaken. He did like win a couple things, but Morgan's right. LJ was not on people's radars. And I the day I left, I did try to push Staten's name, and in the beauty tribe, we did try to push Staten's name. It just never came to it.
Yeah, no, Tyler did mention that a lot though to me. Like even when they came into the merge or the swap tribe, kept saying like, "Oh, you know, we should pull in Jen," and like all this stuff. And I'm just like, you're depending a lot on the same people, and it's like, why aren't you like going around to everyone? Like even if you don't feel like they're in your end game plans, at least still talk to them. Like that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be a well-rounded player, and like I just don't really see that in him.
Yeah, that's how I see the difference between LJ and Tyler. Like LJ and I would stay up for hours talking just about not even game. Like we made a personal relationship. Tyler only ever talked in group chats with LJ. If we talked one-on-one, it was like a few messages here and there, never a call, unless it was in a group chat with somebody else, usually LJ. So that's where, and like you even got to voice that to him that like it looks like he cannot match up with LJ because from all of our perspectives, from all of our perspectives, it looks like he literally was like just with right behind LJ, and whatever LJ wanted, that's what Tyler did, because LJ was the one like scheming with all of us and actually like talking out plans and stuff and using that information that he got. Whereas Tyler was just told that information by his ally and just
I think even just strategically, and it really does play into social, the jury management for LJ was 10 times better than Tyler. And when he found this amazing advantage of talking to a juror and got to like get some information, he literally said, throw that into the trash can. I don't give a fuck. Like
it's literally so bad.
It's giving I want to lose. Like you literally were given this amazing thing.
Like he was the person that I felt like could have most benefited from speaking to me.
Definitely.
And I literally said to him, people aren't going to be able to differentiate your game from LJ's. You should like consider cutting him. No, it's okay. I'd rather just get to the end with him. Like,
yeah, he told me, he was like, if I cut LJ, I'm gonna cry. I'm like, okay, like people are supposed to be like,
so like I'm chopped liver then. Like we're not crying over us.
Question after listening to all of this. So say you guys talk to the jury and you find out Tyler's been giving LJ marching orders the entire game. You've all been fooled. Would that change the temperature at all, or would you guys still be like, fuck it?
So like define marching orders, because
like say he's telling you, okay, you go here to talk to this person to get them to do this, and he's been like the strategic brains and LJ has been the person to pull in the votes. Would that like make you guys respect Tyler more, or would you guys still be like,
No,
I mean,
I feel like
if he's
LJ...
the strategic mastermind, then he needs to also be working those relationships.
Yeah, why is he not doing
also, if he's the mastermind, why is he the one getting all these votes?
Literally.
Usually the mastermind would be like, you're going to do the work, you're going to get the votes, and no one's going to know it's me.
And LJ painted him as the target over him all the time and would constantly say, it's okay if you guys are voting for Tyler as long as it's not me. Like he would be willing to let people vote for Tyler. He probably knew he wasn't going, but he was probably like, I'm not the backup. Tyler is. So
okay. So what do you guys say the most important aspect to you is? The physical game, the social game, strategic game? It seems like social game is really important to you guys.
As jury, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even when I watch Real Survivor, I'm like, I respect the people that played the social game more. Like I respect strategic. Physical, I mean, you held a piece of paper up. Like I'm not gonna be like, you killed the physical game. Like I mean, if it was like Real Survivor, like you're holding a pole and stuff, I'd probably be a little more impressed. But for this, I'm like, okay, I put my hand on a wall for an hour too. So
that's what, like social, like I'm introverted. I pushed all of my batteries to talk to everyone. And that takes a lot of effort. I give props to anyone who did social and jury management. Like that shit takes so much work. To Morgan's point, you had your hand on a wall. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think physical is like the best thing that's like, okay.
Like I respect the
that's
mental
totally-
competitions more. Like the fact that LJ won touchy subjects, which like relates back to his social game. Like he knew so
Yeah.
much about what we were thinking.
Mhm.
It's
He
just all
also got a
negatives for the
penny.
others. Yeah.
He also got a penny. I feel like,
I mean, that was like funny and quirky of him.
better than Nala.
So
Don't talk about
let's start with the person we haven't talked a lot about. If we're gonna move into it like individually, let's talk about Staten. How did Staten play? How did you think? Just start Staten. Any thoughts?
I wouldn't know. I'll go first. I wouldn't know. He didn't talk to me for the entire game.
Wait,
I have
what
no
was the
idea.
question? So sorry.
What do we think about Satan?
Is it
Staten.
Staten?
No
Yeah,
one
it's-
confirmed.
it's-
Thank
I
you.
think it's Staten, but
Confirmed.
No one's confirmed.
It's Staten. It's Staten.
Staten.
I wouldn't know. I attempted to talk to Satan. Apparently, someone used their amazing lying abilities to get Satan to not like me by causing some drama. So I will have to make a public apology
that?
after this.
Oh my God.
I don't know, Morgan.
That person's such a bully, honestly.
Honestly, a woman hater. So I'm gonna have to make a public
Honestly.
apology about that. But
Yeah.
in that aspect, I literally have no idea what Satan was doing, what at all.
I'm working on my ukulele solo for this.
as much as
apology.
I like agree with like something that he said to me, because he was like so like I wouldn't say emotional, but like he was like, like I did, I wasn't in Tyler's pocket, blah blah blah. And then he said something like, just because I'm the quiet player and I'm not loud like other people does not mean I'm not a good player. And like I do, like in a lot of instances, like like the quiet people that can sit in the back and do all these different things behind the scenes, like that's impressive. But like I would need Staten to tell me during the finale, like what his strategic mind was, what did he do that, helped him get there besides, LJ and Tyler. Like I feel like I would need him to explain a lot more of his game. He wasn't that social, but I also think that there's a lot more to it than just that.
Mhm.
So I played this game with Staten like all the way, like from day one until I was voted out. And so I'm very confused by his gameplay, because he played like to like me with me, and his relationship with me, like I feel like I did a lot of like defensive work for him, and he would come to me and be like, oh my god, like you really saved me on my last vote, or like whatever, and like I blah blah blah, like I owe you the world and I trust you forever, and like I want to ride this game with you. And then he's the reason I'm here.
Yeah.
So like it confuses me.
It does,
Not-
like
and
his whole journey
care.
confuses me.
I just don't get it. Like I want to know like what I wasn't offering him, because he was like probably, I really didn't talk to like any of y'all. I sucked really bad in this game. But like before merge, like I talked to him a lot, like every day. So like we would send voice memos back and forth, like minutes, like 3-minute voice memos to each other, like talking about game. And for him to like vote for me, it just confused me. And so that's what I want to fucking know from him, and I just don't get it. So
I feel like during some of it he just voted for who he heard like people were voting for, and like I feel like he kind of like went back and forth a little bit, because like Tyler even said that Staten like flipped on him like twice, I believe, or something like that. And like it's just weird. It's like look at this. Like I don't know, I need like him to explain more with the speech. Like if no one gives a good speech, that like I feel like the speeches are what kind of do it for me. Like if you can't explain your game well, I don't know.
I feel like for that though, I'm gonna give a little leeway to Tyler and LJ because even though they've seen Survivor, this is kind of like their first-ish game. So I'm gonna give them some leeway about their speeches
Mhm.
because if they're not able to like fully describe, it's your first time. I'm not like your first game and your first time being top 3. Like I'm gonna give you some like room for error, but Staten's gotta bring it.
Like,
Yeah.
do they like know what to even bring to the table in terms of like a speech or anything like that?
I don't think so. They didn't even
No,
know
I-
what a live night was until
Yeah, like they're brand fucking new, like, which is also fucking impressive for both of them. But
Mhm.
like I was thinking about it, I was like, are these people going to prepare speeches or like anything? Like I know like people don't like when people read from scripts, but like the one time I was ever in a final 2, shout out BB Disney, I like fully had like scripts and I was
Mhm.
full on reading from a script.
So I'm the person that like, if I would get to the end, like I took public speaking courses in college, like I went to law school, so I'm good. Like
Law
I'm
school.
good. Like yeah, I'm good. Like on the seat of my pants, like just coming up with something to say and like making a speech on the fly. So
All right,
I would
maybe I wouldn't
respect
have
that
taken
more.
you to final
Well, you
3
didn't know
then.
that, so you were my Tyler babe.
So
Don't you
question,
care?
so besties, Jen brought up something earlier. Jen would be protecting Staten and then peace out. Does that speak to Staten's social game that he was able to have people protect him? And I have no idea what's going on with Morgan.
For me, I was just like, I felt like I could trust, like I felt like he didn't really necessarily have other people. So I felt like he was going to be loyal to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then clearly I was wrong. But that's why I felt like I wanted to protect him. But I guess it does say something about a social game if he was able to get in with other people to have them feel that way about him too.
Yeah, I'm a little
Right.
confused as like, because like before, say like final 6, it seemed like he was like on an island by himself. But then after final 6, it was just like, oh no, we're this alliance and we've been an alliance the whole time. I don't know how much I like fully buy into how much Staten was loyal to that.
Okay, so something that Tyler said to me when I spoke to him, so he like mentioned to me how the 3 of them did have a chat since day 1, which I do believe.
Yeah.
I do believe because there was like an instance where it was like the very first vote. It was like the very first vote, like when we were voting people to not off, and like
The first impression.
yeah, and they came to me like with this like idea to, I don't remember like specifics, but they came to me with like an idea that I was like clearly like the last person to know about it, and like they were gonna like blindside the other people. Like I just knew that them 3 had been talking, and then they formed a group of 4 with the 4 of us. So I had like a hunch that they were working together, but then I got like super close with LJ and Tyler, and so what Tyler told me was that like once so he had this, they had a day 1 thing with stay in, but then after a while like they really weren't vibing with, and he can just be blowing smoke up my ass by saying it, but like he said that they just vibed with me more. Again, they as in the 2 of them.
Right.
So like they wanted to ride more with me, and they drifted away from stay in because he was being weird. But then when I got voted out, they went back to stay in. So I don't know if any of that's fucking true, or if he's just
Right. Because they said something similar to me, like a little bit before like my travel. like they were saying like, oh, like I would think about it, like, if Staten didn't win the next immunity, like I would think about it, but Staten ended up winning. But like they were like, maybe I would consider voting Staten, blah blah blah. I feel like they're just telling me what I wanted to hear. But like it's just a lot of them two mentioning each other a lot that I just didn't really like. And I was just like,
did they have like 3-person chats with like every single person?
Yeah.
with a lot of people, yes.
Yeah.
That's what bothered me. Yeah.
Every single person.
Yeah.
Every
And like
single person.
it wasn't giving like, ooh, strategic mastermind. It was giving like,
We're
ooh,
holding
I
hands for
suck.
this entire game. Like they
Literally.
may as well have just been one. They may have well just been one player.
Also,
That's what I'm saying.
I did know
Yeah.
that Staten and LJ and Tyler were working together because LJ let it slip during a call once when we were talking about votes of getting. Well, okay, it was original. So in getting Minor out, we were double checking that we were going to have all the votes, and LJ goes, "Don't worry about Staten. I got him covered." And so I was just like, "Oh, what's that supposed to mean?" I was like, "Oh, I thought like Staten wasn't really working with anyone," because of course Staten wasn't talking to me. And he just was like, "Oh, no, like he's just, like I think he doesn't really have anyone, so I think he'll work with us." But like
we all felt like Staten, like all of us, like the 3 of us all just felt like we had Staten in our pockets.
Mm-hmm. He seemed like somebody that would just listen to us, but in reality, I feel like he was, that's why I'm like, okay, he needs to have a little bit of credit, but like I just still need him to.
I know that David's not here, but when David had joined jury, he did inform at least me that when him, Roberto, and Staten were all on the swapped tribe, that they were sharing a lot of information with Staten about their tribe. And so they had pretty much convinced him that they would be the final 3. It just didn't work out that we voted out Roberto literally a day later. And so I think that pretty much split up that group, except that David and Staten were still clearly talking because an idol was exchanged. I'm so sorry, Morgan.
Yeah, that was weird.
I just
because they made it seem.
And I don't understand the David Staten relationship because on the swap tribe.
Yeah, that was weird because when they came in, they were like, "Oh, Staten's this messy person, like he's sketchy, like y'all need to like be cautious of him, blah blah blah." And I was like, I don't know if that was like just to blow their to hide their cover.
Like I don't know if they planned that together to like make themselves not seem close or something. No, but like
Staten fully thought that we were all voting for David when we voted for Roberto.
Yeah,
it's just weird. Like,
well, because Roberto and Staten were like closer than Staten and David, except Roberto and David were clearly like final 2. Because the heartbreak on David's face when we voted him out was very obvious. So yeah, 10 minutes like before tribal, Jen and I had both told Staten that we were voting David, like literally confirming, like, yes, this is a confirmation that I voted David. So it was just sketchy. It needed to be done, but I think their duo wasn't fully forced without Roberto, but it was something.
I still want to know like the mechanics of the move to take me out. I want to know whose idea it was, who pushed it onto Staten to get him to give the idol to David, because it wasn't Staten's, right? It was like Tyler's or
Mm-hmm.
So if Tyler like fully got that to go through, like I'll give him props at the end of the day. I want to know.
I don't know if it was Tyler's.
I heard it was both of theirs. So I don't know which one it is.
Right. So it was between. So basically with the idol, with the path, Tyler told me that there were 3 paths at the end or whatever. And they got to all 3 of them. One of them was the idol. One of them was the chat, the talk to me. And I forgot what the third one was. But Staten got that one.
The coin, the 50-50, was that what it was?
Yeah. Whatever that was.
Yeah, I know what that was. A 50-50, if you flip it over, you got it, like, it's basically like an idol. And then if you flip it on tails, you lose your vote or something like that. That's what LJ told me about that.
Oh, yeah. They got all 3 of them. I just forgot who got exactly what. But I know that Tyler got obviously the call with me, so I know he didn't get the idol. I don't remember who he said.
Yeah, LJ. I think LJ got the flip coin because he's the one who told me about it.
Then maybe
so then it was just Staten's idol.
I don't think Staten had it.
Yeah, I'm confused. Like
I don't
even more. And also
Yeah.
like
Like
it definitely feels
we all
like
work together.
LJ like on that move from my perspective, just because of like my placement in the game at the time, it definitely seems like LJ was the one that like used information from me telling him that I was going to take out Tyler and take him, that he
Yeah.
decided, you know what, I don't want Tyler to go. I want to go to the end with him. And so I'm going to tell Tyler this whole plan came together to take out Morgan secretly. And they just went along with it, which props to him. Like I give them props because they were like, Abron was going to leave next if Morgan was in the game. Like that was the plan. So, and I would have won touchy subjects. I did so good in that challenge.
Okay. Is there anything else you guys want to bring up about Staten specifically?
No.
Okay. We'll move to, I guess, the one you guys have the most opinions about, Tyler. Anything stand out about his physical game that you guys want to talk about before you move on to like more
I mean,
important
he
stuff?
definitely put his all into these challenges. Like his
arm was on that wall. His hand, it never moved.
Wait, what was the
He-
challenge tonight?
It was night moves.
Night moves. Yeah.
Oh.
It was yeah.
I hate that shit.
I mean, he had dedication. He had work clothes just in case he had to get changed on call.
Yeah. Like he was just ready.
Yeah, he did that. I think just social and jury management was really not there. And at the end of the day, it's jury management. Like it's not a challenge that provides who the winner is. It's the jury.
Yeah.
So
Like, I see people doing challenges all the time, and it's like if you don't have anything else, like I don't know. Like,
Yeah,
I feel like
I think-
physical is like the highest thing that is on Tyler's resume.
Like a big thing with his physical game that ties into the rest of his game is how much he would talk about it all the time and like how he would gloat about it. It seemed like at tribal
sportsmanship. Where is the sportsmanship?
Yeah, like I
Something
really
that, like-
don't want to hear you talking about how you like demolished that challenge or something and like
Something that
talk yourself
confused-
up. I really don't want to hear it.
Something that confused me was when they were doing the whole like wall thing. Tyler and LJ were up there by themselves by no how long, and they like obviously we knew they were working together, and one of them did not want to follow, like wanted to stop, and then they wait till
No,
like hours
okay,
later, and they're like,
okay.
"Oh yeah, let's pick a number."
Morgan,
Solve it.
So-
And I was like,
that challenge,
It pissed me off.
literally, they almost did rock, paper, scissors, right? Even after the challenge, we had our three-way DM, Steve. Oh my God, if they literally say Steve to me, I'll die. But they literally argued about it because LJ was like, I was trying to do a random thing and then you drug it out and people are upset with us now. And I was like, yeah, they are, because why did you stay up for an extra hour when we know you guys are working together and like it doesn't matter at that point. Like neither of you were going home. So it's like, just stop.
I will
And-
admit though
yeah.
that the errors that Tyler made is honestly just first player beginner errors. He just didn't know. He's never played. He's watched, but he's never played. And so why would he know to the full extent that like you got to make the chats yourself. You got to do it. You got to put that effort in. Like he wouldn't know. Honestly, for LJ, it probably was just beginner's luck. He just wanted to talk to people. It's probably just his personality. But it's just it effed up his game, and he was warned. That's the worst part. He can't even play dumb about it. He was told. He just chose not to listen. So
yeah, like a core memory for me. It was like as soon as we swapped, and I was on the same tribe as them. Me and OJ, like he like messaged me, and that was like our one-on-one chat, and then he just randomly added Tyler to it, and I was like, oh, it's just like a one-on-one. Do I need to make it like?
Literally, like it was very confusing how I would be sitting there talking with LJ and making some personal relationship with him and not say a word to Tyler, and then all of a sudden it's like, I'm gonna make a group of Tyler now. Like, okay, we were talking about our favorite Taylor Swift song, and then you've decided we're in a three-way call with Tyler now. So work. Like
I will
it just-
say, all of you with your org experience are sitting here saying, you guys told them this, you guys told them that. But then you guys are here in jury and they are at the end. So you guys can say,
drag us.
okay,
Drag
you know
us.
what, Nick? That was
You made
so
the
dirty.
same.
That was
Nick,
so dirty.
Do you
I-
Are you a woman hater?
I'm not a woman hater.
Nick, do you realize that Tyler literally had an advantage to speak to a jury member. Like
That's
a
what we're
couple
talking
days
about.
ago.
And we told,
Well, he-
like,
and
Jen
he
told
used that a lot,
him.
though. Like he took what you
I
said,
straight
Jen,
up
and he was
told
like,
him that he should get rid of LJ
"For me."
And Haley.
and Haley, but he already knew he needed to get rid of you. But the thing
Yeah.
is, he's never going to get rid of LJ.
Right.
I straight up told him he needs to get rid of LJ so he can differentiate his game as a jury member. And I said to him in a way, like, I was like, listen, bestie, since you're the one that got this advantage, I'm going to say this to you as Tyler, the individual player. You need to get rid of LJ.
And he literally flat out said no.
I also
He
just want to
said
point out
no.
that the
You guys
jury
can blame
members.
Tyler for that, but then you guys are also blaming LJ for like beginner's luck and all this. But maybe LJ figured this out because he had good intuition, he had a good strategy. Is there these things that you're not seeing in LJ that make you think that he just kind of got lucky, or do you think that it was purposeful?
I
About
mean, he
LJ?
showed more effort than Tyler did in making the connections and strategizing. Like, I talked with LJ about strategy for like
Well, I think
countless hours.
the question is, do you think that was on purpose, or do you think that LJ just has luck in like
mean-
playing the game?
No, I think it was on purpose.
I had like strategy calls with Tyler.
I mean, I definitely talked strategy with Tyler too, but I'm saying like,
Tyler
don't-
yelled at me.
I mean, I don't think
So-
Tyler's was just like straight up beginner's luck either. I think he was actively playing the game. I'm not gonna like discredit him on that note
I think,
at all.
yeah,
but
like I when I say that LJ's was luck, I just went on the fact that I guess it is like the intuition of knowing to talk more, and because I feel like the talking itself was on purpose, but to know that the social game is the biggest thing.
I mean, even I can say like, Jen, you watched me on Inferno, like shout out Inferno. I didn't try that hard with the social stuff. Like, I didn't go on calls with people all the time because I was like still like, oh, that's a little weird. Like, I don't know them. Like, I'll just chat with them. But like, everyone does that. And even this game, like, I talked to the most random people and started calls with them. Like, and it was just normal. And I think maybe he faltered in that.
I think a thing about LJ is like he definitely downplayed how smart he is. He definitely did that, and I think that's
My
something
little golden
that's,
retriever was actually smart the whole time.
right. And I'm like, I feel like that was
Very, very
obviously
smart.
I'm not
No, he's
obviously
very
I'm not him,
intelligent.
so I don't know if that was part of his strategy, but like we do need like I want to give him like credit for that. Like he you know played off as like he wasn't.
He's like very, 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 very intelligent. Like,
Mhm.
like borderline should have been on the brain tribe.
Right.
Probably not even borderline. He should have been on the brain tribe.
I also just want to make a comment, Nick, that the people sitting in jury are the ones who were deemed winners, and they were voted out because they were threats. And
I got out of the game. I was literally like doing well.
also I was voted out because of a freaking lie. So
Also, I was voted out because I'm a woman. So
And because
that is so
and
true.
because
I'm
both
a
of y'all
woman.
were for me though, both of y'all were really social, and I was like,
That's what I'm saying.
they're
Like, you got
scary.
voted-
They scary.
the
They gotta go. They
votes-
scary.
The votes for us to get out were because we were threats. Like
Wait, Haley, you voted out both other women.
Would you say anyone in the final three would be considered a threat?
yeah,
LJ.
I think
That's
they
why I
all
wanted.
have potential to be threats.
Yeah, I think they
So
were
what
all.
makes their
they all
threat
had their
journey
threat.
easier than your threat journey?
I think the issue with their threat journey is they had idols and I did not.
Yeah.
That's valid.
I think like I don't know. I mean, it really is crazy to me that like LJ and Tyler were literally such a strong duo this entire fucking time.
And we didn't take our shots because we were too busy looking at other people. When we
I
could've-
did take my shot, you motherfuckers, and you all
Yeah, but
voted
you didn't get
Jen.
away with it because you were out. You didn't get away
Even
with it.
you
Sorry.
at other
No, I
times did
tried to
not
get rid of
target them.
Tyler. I did.
Well,
I
guess
did
what?
try to get rid of
I
Tyler,
didn't
and
know
did
that.
try to
You
get
should
rid
have
of
told
Satan.
You should have told me, girl.
Brandon said he would tell you, motherfucker.
Well, guess what? Okay, but guess what? Don't pull a Tyler where you gotta tell someone else to tell someone. Tell me yourself.
Because okay, if we're gonna go through that, can we just recall that there were multiple days I tried to talk to you and it'd be 24 hours later, and then fucking Morgan, who would literally be like, I know I'm supposed to call you, but I'm actually just gonna ignore you for 24 hours, and then I'll talk to you later when I feel like it.
But no, I think LJ is definitely okay. The thing is like nobody wanted to like. Nobody was like, okay, we're voting. Let's think about voting LJ this round. Like LJ's vote tonight. Like no one really was throwing around LJ's name. It was always like,
Oh, not LJ. No.
it was always like Tyler. Like Tyler was the one that like a lot of people wanted to go over LJ. And like I feel like LJ was able to like, sit back and like play that under the radar mentality and like, use Tyler as like a shield, even though they were obviously working together, like use him as like a shield, like, hey, if you were to take a shot at one of us, Tyler's gonna be the one that goes. And then a lot of people wanted to work with LJ, including myself. Like LJ was really likable, also was able to be really good at competitions, obviously social, and then strategic. I feel like downplaying
I feel like
himself.
he was just more well-rounded, which I'm looking like when I look at this, I'm looking at one specific more than the other, but I am looking at like the whole picture. I want you to have a piece of every part of the game. I don't want you to just be like, oh, I talk to people a lot and I'm like your friend, because I wouldn't, like, even Haley, I said in the jury chat, between you and LJ, I would have had a harder decision because I felt really like close to you, way more than LJ.
Right.
But
Right.
I wanted to vote for who I thought was playing the best game overall. And I think LJ, like the physical and the strategic, he was really pulling his own weight. So
I think it's also difficult with Staten because I think the reason I am not saying that this is him at all. I think a larger reason, because I'd even made the comment, someone asked like if I had a final three, no matter who was in jury, who would it be? And I did say Staten, and I feel like other people did too. And it's just because of the way, from my perspective, the way he played, it made him seem, not that he is, it made him seem a little weak in the way that he was like this injured puppy who was like cowering in the corner and people would have to go talk to him and like form these alliances. He'd be like, oh, like I'm all by myself. I'm on this little island like by myself. And so like, I feel like that might be a little bit of a reason why he got brought to final three, because I don't know. I feel like honestly seeing Benji tonight, I wouldn't have been surprised if I saw Staten either. Like I know they had a group chat, but like
right, but I also think Staten is, to give credit where it's due at that point. Like I feel like he was very underrated. Like everyone's like, oh yeah, we're gonna beat Staten. Like Staten didn't do shit, but like at the end of the day, I feel like just because Staten was very quiet and wasn't like crazy social like everyone else was, and like bold and like out there and outgoing, like his personality, I feel like Staten also, like, to give him some credit.
I'm just having like a hard time with this talk right now because like I think we're all being nice. That's really cute and all, but I'm not being mean when I'm saying like in the game, we all caught the tea. He played super emotionally. He was able to be pulled in directions based on how he felt slighted by people or
and nor did he feel the need to look for the truth.
He didn't.
Okay, but I also think
like the second I found out my name was pulled, my dead first question was, who said it? And then I went directly to the person and I said, can I at least, I don't mind if I'm going. I said that every night. I don't care if it's me, if I'm going. Can I just know the reason why? I just want to know. And like like you guys literally dead ass were like, you're just too social. That's fine with me. Or like Morgan was like, you're playing middle and I don't like that. That's totally valid. Staten's reason was a very personal, non-game related reason and didn't even have the decency to ask me about it. Just went off whatever other people said. And so it's like, to a degree, like obviously I'm not going to let my vote decided out of, honestly, he made a game related, but like, it's just the point. Like, I just don't know. It's a game. At the end of the day, it's a game. I want these people to have fun. I love that final three made it. And like our 2 out of the final 3 are new people. Like that is awesome. And we could have had maybe a little more feminine energy from our cast, but like the 3 females made it to merge.
Right. And like I think the thing with Staten too is like, I feel like if he didn't win the certain immunity challenge that he did win, though, he could have potentially been the vote. Like he kind of like saved himself by winning. And it's like, okay, you gotta you got to give that. At the end of the day, though, like, comps aren't the whole thing either. Like, comps are like, oh, you won that comp, so you're a threat, or you deserve to win because you won all these comps. But like, that's, I don't know how I feel about Staten. But
Like
like, I'm still
I
like
don't want
annoyed
to
that he
take
didn't
away
like.
from him on a personal note. Like he definitely played the game. I will give him that. Like he played the game. He got to the end. Like you didn't just sit there and do nothing. Clearly, you had multiple idols. Like you talked with
Mhm.
people. But I do have like, if Jackie, what you're saying is like, there was he never came to me about anything he heard. I had personal conversations with him where I was trying to emotionally manipulate him, but still he would say that the way he viewed things is he hoped nobody would ever take like a first impression from somebody else and use that against him. But then if I tell him you're being nasty and saying things about him, he just believes that and goes along with it. So it's like a double standard. You didn't want to give that to you and like find out for yourself. Maybe you trusted me too much. Maybe that's just on me. I don't know. But if you're gonna talk it, then you better walk it. Don't just say, "Oh, I'm so glad you feel the same way," but then not go do that.
Yeah.
Touch bases. Because I could have been found out. Like
let's
pretty easy.
say this. What do you guys think was the best move and or like the key thing each player did that got them to the end?
LJ and Tyler. Meet LJ and Tyler.
I wish I knew what like the
Align
big
with
move
Jen.
of the game.
Listen to
Like
Jen.
I wish I knew what like the big move of the game is. Like I feel like a question that I want to ask them is like, what did I put? I put something about like, what do you think was like the biggest lie that like made you?
I was thinking about that. I was like, what
what's one
lie
lie?
did you think like made your game? And if you know, I said if there was a lie that you heard and you found out the truth later on, but the lie made you like make a certain move, would you have gone back and redone that move now having known the truth?
I was gonna say, what's one lie in this game that you told that you believe made the game spiral, where you feel like you lost control of your game for a moment? In addition to that, what was the highest point in the game for you? I feel like that was gonna be like the question I would ask.
So you guys
But,
don't
like-
have any specific move any of the final three made that got them further? And if that's true, like, does that speak to the game that they didn't have to make these big moves? And
Yeah.
what kind of smaller moves did they
Satan
make?
voting for me.
Yeah, that's Jen's. Mine is my vote out. I want to know because I mean, I'm tooting my own horn, I will, but my vote out definitely steamrolled the way for them. Like
Mhm.
after that, it was like bam, bam, bam. Where if I had stayed, it was going to be bam, bam, bam the other direction.
Well,
So-
props for Tyler for listening to Jen and voting me out.
I think
I
it's
definitely
honestly
want to
the
know their
moves
part
they.
in my move.
I think it's I think it's rough because it's like I don't know if the two, again, like LJ perceived to be kind of like not the smartest, and he
Mhm.
clearly is. And so I feel like that was kind of good because people like, I don't think that I gave him a lot of information, but like look how far he got with the information he was given. Like that was such a game changer because it's just, I don't know, like they, first of all, latching onto Jen, that was honestly perfect because everyone wanted to
Yeah.
work with Jen. So
Right,
therefore,
that's the thing. Right.
people want to work
Like,
with them.
Right. Like
Okay.
they were able to like get us to like I don't know if it was like a specific person out of the three of them, but like they were able to get us to look at other people instead of making those moves on them, because we were gonna make those moves on them on that time, like the duo. But then we had our eyes on other people, like you guys, and then like David and all that stuff. So like they were able to like kind of.
Yeah, they definitely shifted like a bigger target in front of themselves at all time. Even like my vote off, they're making sure David is like going to use it to idle me out. And even
not
if I had
themselves.
stayed, David would have been safe at least for another round because I wasn't going to put him up at that 7 if there was still 3 bronze left. Like Staten and Tyler were like headed on the block, and if one of them came down, LJ was going up. Like
Right.
one of them had to go at 7 or it was over. So I was like, David, if he had thought about it for more than 5 milliseconds, he could have
I
pieced
think-
together like
even if we had attempted to get them out earlier, because I did try, like I told people Tyler was next. That did not happen. But that, like, because they had numbers. Like, we kept saying their threats, we should get them out. I did attempt and I got voted out. So like I do question like because I knew, like, I was like, okay, like everyone wants a bronze out, everyone wants a bronze out. I couldn't get the numbers for it. I could not get the numbers for it. And I'm not gonna say it was because of Tyler. Like, we keep talking about LJ's social skill. Even when I tried to bring them up, everyone's like, oh, we'll get them out further down. Not this vote. We'll do the next vote. The next vote turned into final 3. So, like, I just don't, like, literally, I just don't. How is it 3 bronze? How is it 3 bronze? How did we do, like, it just, like, we literally got played.
Right.
And I feel like that might be my question then for Tyler. Was you or LJ who fucking did this?
Right. And I feel like they're gonna try to take credit themselves, both individually. And I'm like, I need to like what? Like we said earlier, it feels like they're the same person. Like, hello, like.
Yeah.
What
Make
would
sure-
one of them need to say to make you guys think, okay, this is the person who was like the brains behind the madness?
I don't want to
need
hear
to not
Tyler
s-
say that he was social. I don't
They
want to hear
need to-
Tyler say that he was social at all.
Yeah. They also
I
need
don't
to
want
like
to lie.
not. They also need to like not lower the amount of times they mention each other's name and start talking about other people and themselves and stop mentioning we and each other and like LJ did this and Tyler and blah blah blah. Like you
I'm
need
gonna
to
be
stop
so
talking about
disappointed
each
if
other.
they start talking in like duos.
You're
Like
gonna
they
Right.
have the whole
Right.
Would that benefit Staten in the end if the two of them were very
Maybe.
we?
And if I
Honestly,
hear
yeah.
something about Nala one more time, I'm gonna rip my eyeballs
Jury
out.
is so sick of Nala. I
Right.
do
Like-
love hearing my 69 degrees, but
I
like
love how
Nala-
somebody else did it every time besides the
I
final
know,
3.
literally the first night I got voted out, I was like, I hope somebody says it. And then Haley said it, and then David goes, in honor of Jackie, who just got voted out. I'm like, no.
Right. And then during mine, I
Um,
was like, I'm getting fucked tonight. 69.
I was like, period. It just continues. I feel like even if Tyler, like, when Tyler gives his speech, I do appreciate that he is going to bring up his physical game and like the
Mhm.
physical, like the endurance challenges and that crap that he won. That's cool and all. But like I said earlier, it's not the challenges that made you win. And so I do want him to acknowledge the fact that his social game was so fucking weak. Like, I want him to acknowledge that he did have to rely on others. I don't want to hear this whole I did this, I did that, because it wasn't physically him. And I feel like because he did win all those endurance challenges and all these other things, he's going to be like, well, because I did this, I won this. And so then I did that. Like, no.
Yeah,
Like,
I think what
no.
I'm looking for the most as a juror is like, I want some awareness. I want you to have that game awareness of like your positioning in the game, how people viewed you and perceived you. That is such a big part of the game. And I don't think Tyler is aware or like cares as much about his perception as LJ does. Like, I know talking with LJ, he would be worried like, oh, these people don't like me because of this, or like people are thinking of me as a threat because of this. And it would all be like spot on when he would talk about it. And I would be like, okay, he's like thinking about the game. Tyler
will
never
give
had this
credit.
conversation.
I will give credit. Staten did win challenges. He did obviously have some sort of social game because he's in final 3. I just don't even if LJ and Heather do this whole we duo thing, like, dude, there were some big holes in your game. And I just don't know if I can patch that just because I hear the word we. Like, I don't know if I don't know if I would switch my vote if I were to hear that sort of like talk in that sense.
I want to give
I
some
would-
props to Staten just for 5 milliseconds. I feel like I've dogged on him a little bit much, but I feel like he was like the most real out of the final 3. Like he like wore his heart on his sleeve. He said that all the time. If he felt emotional about it, he was real about it. Was that good gameplay? No, but I can respect the fact that he was like how he felt is usually what he did. So I'll give
I was
him all
really
the props for
waiting.
that.
I was really waiting for the moment for Staten to be like, you know what? Let me take a shot at the duo. But I feel like he probably felt like he didn't need to because he probably felt like they were going to take him to the end. Which
I don't know
obviously,
if he had the pull to do something like that.
But I also question that because the idea of going, they're not targeting them because he knows they'll bring them to final three. Okay, cool. You made to final three. Do you think you can actually win against them? Like that's what your final three should be, is someone you think you can win against, because
Do
again,
you
this is
think Staten could
Survivor.
have beaten anyone else?
Fred?
maybe depending on the jury, maybe David. I don't know. I
maybe
feel
like a David
was-
Benji,
So
maybe.
do you think this might? Do you think in his
Or-
mind
or
this
like a
might
David
actually be
Tyler.
his best final three in chances of winning?
Honestly,
I
No.
mean, it really comes down to his speech. Like the thing is like I know like they're new speeches or whatever, like they're new players, so this is their first time. But like I don't want to hear someone taking credit of something that they shouldn't be taking credit for, and like try to keep
Yeah.
claiming that because that's really gonna make me like have the ick.
I think that Staten does have a chance because again, another thing that I fucking told Tyler is that because you guys have played such similar games, it could end up being that third person that wins, regardless of who comes with you.
Listen, Haley,
Right.
did I not tell you that? I was like, if this is a final two, before we found out it was a final three, I was like, I want to go to the end with you because our stories are similar. And I don't want somebody to have like the opposite of me and me have to
That
argue
works
against it.
If it's a final,
right,
two.
right,
It
Yeah,
doesn't work if it's a final three.
right.
exactly.
Because
Well,
the
so
other
that's why I'm
person's gonna have
saying
different perspective, right?
that's what I'm saying. I don't know if Staten, I like that's what I just don't understand of his gameplay. Like why didn't you take a shot at these two? Like, yeah, they said they'll take you to final three, but did you really
And like we didn't know it was the final three before.
but even if you think it's a final two, there's
Maybe-
two
but
of them.
maybe Staten is thinking along the lines of they've played similar games, so jury will
Right.
split the votes between them, and I'll. And
I mean,
Right.
yeah,
But to
and
the
they
idea
didn't
that
like
they
lock
didn't
step until
know.
after we heard.
But to the idea that they didn't know it was going to be a final three.
they
They
did
thought it was going to be a final two.
Well, like from Staten's perspective, like how I was saying earlier, how it didn't seem like they were like a trio until a certain time. They weren't really a trio in my mind until we learned that it was a final three. And then they like Staten kind of like looped in
Mm-mm.
with that
I think
twosome.
I think they were working way before that.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm
didn't
sure they
you
were
say that
working
they had
together.
it like during like day one or something?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
they
saying
made
they
a
were working
chat.
together, but they weren't
They
like a
made a
locked in
chat,
final
but
three.
again, Tyler.
Do you
and
think
Elsa
Staten would have gone
every-
the other direction if they knew it was a final two?
I think he could have. I
Yeah.
think he because they would pick each other. Then he wouldn't.
Yeah, they
have
were
the-
So
Clearly
why
a-
can he
a
be blamed
twosome.
for sticking with them to the final three, knowing he's going to go there and he doesn't?
That's
and
what
it's his
I'm
best
saying.
chance
That's a positive to
instead
me.
of
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
flipping on
Yeah,
them.
I'm just curious, like because like
So
like
if it's
I said, they didn't-
intentional, you guys will give him a lot
Right.
more credit than
yeah.
if it's just, oh, I'm going to final three and didn't think
Yeah,
beyond
if he was
that.
like, hey, I have
Right.
these two people that want to take me and I know they're not going to turn on each other, then I can get to
Or-
final three. Like,
Or I'm just stuck here because I don't think I can get the votes. When clearly, if you had just reached out to people, you probably could have, because all of us wanted one of them gone. And so that's why I'm just like, I need to know.
I
Like
think-
like I said, I
Mhm.
didn't talk to Satan. I had no conversation, so I don't know.
So would it be hard to vote for someone you haven't talked to? Do you think that's important to have talked to the jury throughout the game?
Oh, jury management.
yeah, I think that's a little bit important.
Yes, 100%.
I mean, that's what we've been talking about the whole time, is the fact that like certain people we didn't really feel as close to. And it matters. It really just matters. Like you have to
Right.
talk to people. Otherwise the impression in your mind is like they didn't try as hard. That's how I was with Benji. Like we
Right.
never talked. So like even though other people said they talked to him all the time and he was thinking for himself and stuff, I never got to see that. So how could I ever vote for him?
Right, but like I also don't want to like play like super like petty or whatever, or like I want to not be super biased just on my own.
I feel
personal
like my question
experience.
though is like, is it biased? I just didn't talk. Like we just like,
Yeah.
because I don't know if it's being petty, because like I don't care if you voted me out. I don't care if it was this or that.
Mhm.
I just physically can like, even when I hear their speech, I've still basically made up my mind by then. Like I I'm not able to see your entire gameplay because for literally a month, we barely spoke. And then once we hit merge, the conversation was gone. So I don't know. Like until merge, I was in the dark. I have no clue what happened, if it was intentional, unintentional, who he talked to, if he didn't talk at all. Like it's kind of hard to. And the thing is too, like jury vote, it is my vote. It is my personal opinion on who I think played a better game. And so my personal opinion, if you're not going to talk to me, even if it's not about the game, just to talk, I don't really want to give you my vote either, because I don't know if that's, I don't know if that's like a fun game.
Do you think
Yeah.
that when you can't differentiate between people, it's easier just to vote for who you liked more, or who took the time to get to know you?
I think it's hard. Well, no, I
I
think
don't
you
know
need
if it's
to
like if it like
pinpoint.
tips the scales that way, like just
Yeah.
because of that. I think it's like if you're looking at something so evenly distributed, then of course if they have this one extra thing, that's gonna tip the scale in their favor. Like
I
if they
think they-
played such similar games, but this person
Yeah.
had this extra point, then they have the extra point and they played better.
I think the issue is they took similar moves, but LJ did set himself apart in the fact that he was social.
Because like I feel
And
like out of the
Tyler
two,
lacked.
right? Because I feel like out of the two, LJ would have been the one to like separate himself. Because obviously
Mhm.
Tyler didn't want to do it.
Yeah, I want to know if he was ever going to cut Tyler. I don't think so, but I would love to know if he actually considered it.
They're in final three. No, the answer is no.
But like before that, I
I
wanna
mean,
know
he told
if
me he
if he thought it was
would,
a
but I don't
final
know if that
two.
was true.
If he thought it was a final two and people were like actively targeting him, I want to know if he would have like actually switched it up.
Would you guys believe either of them if they said in a different circumstance they would cut each other?
I mean, I
Not
can
Tyler.
literally I can clock LJ if he's lying.
We'll never know. I mean,
The fact that Jen
no.
literally spoke to Tyler, I don't think Tyler ever would have gotten rid of LJ, no matter what.
Yeah.
I
No.
can't say the same about LJ though.
Yeah, I can't say the same for LJ. If he looked me in the eyes and actually told me and it was truthful, I could like I swear to God, I will know if he's lying to me. So he knows
Yeah,
I'll
so
clock him. I've clocked him
let's-
before to his face.
Give some closing thoughts. Anything else you guys want to say about the final three? Anything you guys feel like hasn't been brought up yet?
They did awesome. I don't want to keep hearing about Nala, so I can't wait for this game to end. But honestly, whoever wins literally deserved it and did amazing.
Yeah.
I'm just like really, 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 really proud of them.
I'm a proud mother.
literally, like so fucking proud of them.
Yeah.
Like,
and like
I said so many times in my prod chat, I am willing to sheep Tyler and LJ. Like if I was sitting in that third spot instead of Staten, I would be like, vote for one of them. Like
I'm even proud for Staten, honestly. His name got brought up so many fucking times, and that dude
True.
still did it. That dude still did it. So
so proud of them, all of them.
yeah.
Proud
At the
for
end of the
Prod.
day, like I said on my way out, I'm not bitter at all. I think they all outplayed us and I can give them props for that. Like at the end of the day, they did the damn thing. They are literally in the final three. We are not. Props to them, mad props, but there can only be one winner, and I'm not gonna like cut my words just because I'm friends with them. Like I'm gonna say how I feel, and that's how I felt.
and I can't wait for them to be roasted at finale.
not bullying now.
No bullying, Jackie.
Okay, so thank you everyone for coming tonight to the jury roundtable. I'll give it back to whatever Parad is here.
Hello. Okay.
Hello.
Thank you, Nick Mana. I love you so much, bestie, for helping host. And I'm gonna recommend you guys stay on the Zoom because I'm gonna just keep you updated.